And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the second day in a row of the KSL Summer Slam. Technically day one, the beginning of the playoffs, the beginning of the end, and we're jumping right in. We have a series spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Babylon. We have the South Korean Zerg player going for a 15 hatch opener, 15-15. It is representing Mystery Gaming, RagnaroK. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player representing Onside Gaming. It is Maru. Also, I sound a little bit loud. Hold on. Gonna check my mic settings for a moment, and yeah, I'm a little bit too loud. Okay, we're good. Okay, we are good, and we are here with day one of the playoffs. Let's go. The best of the best in Korea are duking it out. We are here with 12 players. We're in the round of 12, and 2 matches are starting at the same time. We're going to be covering Maru versus RagnaroK. Meanwhile, over on some of the other streams, they're going to be covering Cure versus Creator in a TVP. So that is what we have in store for you today. Or to start off with, in total, we're going to be casting 4 best of 5s. 8 best of 5s will be happening. It's just 2 at a time. So we kind of have to pick and choose where we want to go and how we want to approach this. And honestly, I'm pretty excited. It's been a while. It's been a while since we've seen these two face off. Obviously, this is a GSL Finals rematch, and we all know how the GSL Finals went. It was not ideal. Hold on, let me just quickly fix that as well. But it's been a while. It's been months since those GSL Finals, and we do have a way here, a path to redemption for our Zerg player. At least I want to believe that that's going to be the case. I want to believe that we can get a series out of this, and we can go the distance. Also, for some context, this is a best of 5, not a best of 3. And you know what? While we're in the early game, while we have a 2-Rax versus a 15-15, as the Reaper does dip in and do some economic damage, or look for some damage, I will be opening up, or trying to open up some predictions. Up! Reaper trying to wreak havoc here. It does whittle away at some of these drones, but the drones will stand strong, and RagnaroK is going to be staying here on 2 bases a little bit longer instead. And we can get into that once I get those predictions going. Un momento, papi, un momento. To need a moment, as Reapers are once again going to be dancing here with the Queens. Gonna disrupt them, pick off a tumor if possible, as they rotate over into the main base. And predictions. Hold on. Round of 12 predictions will be open for the next minute or so. So not too long, not too long. You do have a little bit of time to yourselves here to place your bets on who you think is going to take the series, as we have nothing but best of 5s here tonight. Oh my god, RagnaroK, go calm down. Is going to be going 2 base there. Okay, so a lot's been happening so far, and I've been glossing over some of it. So RagnaroK went for a 15-15 opener. That means a 15 hatch into a 15 spawning pool. It means he has faster queens, and this is the reason why. You get faster queens, you get faster lings, but he's skipping lings here, defending with pure queens against the double Rax opener here of Maru. It's a very greedy thing to do, but also very safe. Now, because of this 3 Reaper opener, it means that RagnaroK is contained to 2 bases. And with those 2 bases, RagnaroK is taking all 4 gases. He's going for a very fast lair. This is looking like 2 base Spire for 2 base Muta, which is crazy. I don't know how I feel about that. Just because he's up against a 2-1-1 follow-up. Well, he doesn't know what he's up against. He could be up against a 4-Rax, a 3-1-1, a 3CC 2-1-1. There's a lot of possibilities here from Maru. So for RagnaroK to rush into a Spire like this is really risky. As we do see the Reapers dive into the main base, they do avoid those Queens. They get a scout off. They confirm the lair is done. They see the gases being taken as well. It looks like Maru, he should be able to piece together what is going on. Oh my god, the KDA charge is going crazy. 3 drones are already going to be going down. We do catch a couple of Reapers towards the end, but that was worth it. Not just the worker damage. I mean, that was pretty good already for Maru, but scouting the additional gases, scouting the fast lair. Now Maru knows that a Spire is a big possibility. eBays are about to finish up. We're already getting into bioproduction because of the 2-Rax opener. That's the other reason why I'm not too sold on going 2-base lair against a player that you know is going to be going for a variation of 2-1-1. Maru is going to have an abundance of Marines to work with. Lair is done, so we go in for a scout. And RagnaroK, he sees the third CC, he sees the setup. RagnaroK is now fully aware of the opener here of Maru, of the third CC 2-on-1 variation here from the Terran. And what is the response going to be here? We have a lot of gas to work with, and then we go 7 mutas are on the way. Bailey Nest in production as well. That is why we don't have 8 mutas. Typically, we would be making 8 mutas, but again, we're going to be saving some gas here for the Bailey Nest. I imagine for bailing speed as well, but here we go. The Marines are on the way. Meanwhile, it looks like Maru's going to be staying back home, actually. We have turrets in the main, turrets in the natural, and a turret here protecting the production, but Maru, he's gonna be holding back here. He really is respecting the opener of his opponent. He doesn't want to throw away his double medevac drop, so it looks like he's waiting for the mutas to reveal themselves. Oh, the Marines were just spotted. Mutas are going to be moving out, and they do bypass the Marines. Oh, they get 1 SCV. Already a decent amount of damage. Lings are here to support as well, and RagnaroK dives on this army. Oh, the positioning is looking pretty damn good. The mines are coming into burrow as well. The mine shots are going to get baited out. No, they are not. And Maru trades oh so efficiently. Oh my god. He lost 6 Marines for 34 Lings. 34 Lings. A very efficient trade here from Maru. Meanwhile, the turret is done. Lings is going to try to come in from behind. But again, Maru's defense has been solid. I'm loving the depot here as well, just providing some extra SimCity. Reduced surface area here against the Terran. Oof, and every time RagnaroK goes in, he's just bleeding out more and more Lings. And a big reason for what's transpiring here is because Maru was able to scout so early. Was able to piece together what was happening. Now, to be fair, RagnaroK has been losing a lot of Lings, yes, but he also has map control and has been able to drone quite heavily behind this, or he has the freedom to drone, I should say. He hasn't been droning too much. He can go for a 4th base, he can fully saturate 3 bases at least. For the time being, he's hyper-focused and hyper-fixated on getting damage done with these mutas. And he picks off a couple of units. Going to be rotating on over as well. There is a mine drop heading out across the map. The mutas are looking to intercept, and they do come across the drop. Oof. Mines get cleaned up. Very nice control there out of RagnaroK. At the same time, we do see a bio army here towards the northern portion of the map, just clearing up creep, vying for map control. No big commitment yet. Again, Maru is really respecting these mutas. Doesn't want to throw anything away. Very safe play out of Maru so far. Mutas, they've done him dirty in the past, clearly. He has experienced the muta. As back at home, RagnaroK is getting up to 3 base saturation. Now we have 1-1 on the way for the Ling Bane. 4th base in production as well. I do think that RagnaroK could have been greedier. I do think that's something he could have done. A lot of that is predicated on the fact that he did throw away a lot of Lings earlier, though. Like that's why he hasn't been able to drone as heavily. Just because he threw away 44 Lings earlier. But now he can focus on his ground army. Now he can establish himself at 73 workers. This is a decent worker count to kind of slow down at. And okay, RagnaroK is going to be joining up a little bit further. Up. Oh, it's another muta gets shaved off. Really good movement here out of Maru. Up. And yeah, even though these mutas, they haven't done too much damage, they've been keeping Maru busy until now. Maru has maxed out. He's got 2-2 already kicking in, 3-3 on the horizon. A massive 2-2 timing here from Maru. And his macro has been impeccable. It's actually been really impressive how hard Maru has been able to just build himself up. Meanwhile, at the same time, a massive Ling Bane counterattack across the map, pulling back a big portion of Maru's army. 16 SCVs go down, but at the same time, Maru may just end the game. He does scan ahead of time. Sees the morphing in Banelings. There are more Banelings here, just back in that natural waste. It's a kill, not a cancel on the hatchery. Mutas are wreaking havoc in the production. We do see that RagnaroK is not turning around. Alien Nest gets sniped, and this just feels like too much supply. Look at the pre-split here from Maru. Hurling Bane is going to try to roll on in, but nah, mate, there's just too much bio. Not enough Ling Bane. Everything gets cleaned up, and Maru can just look to end the game from here. GG gets called. Maru will take game number 1. GG. Again, I do think that a big reason for Maru snowballing out of control there, and I should say RagnaroK falling behind in the supplies, is because RagnaroK, it did take him a little bit longer, a little bit too long to actually drone and saturate his bases, just because of how aggressive he was being earlier and how many lings he was making as well in the early to mid game. Trying to find damage and trying to snowball out of control at the third base, it really did not pay off. Obviously, it isn't necessarily on RagnaroK for that happening. Like, Maru had really good positioning at his third base and had a really, really good just setup there at said third. And unfortunately, that did set RagnaroK enough behind for Maru to get out of control in the end. GG. On top of that, we should also say the Mutas, they were keeping Maru back at home, but Maru, he was macroing beautifully. The Mutas, even though they were keeping, or at least maintaining map control, they weren't really getting any value, right? They weren't killing any workers, they weren't really killing any Marines. They did deny 1 mine drop, but that's kind of it. Outside of that, the Mutas weren't really too impactful there in that game. And now we're going to be getting into game number 2. Here we go. Here we go. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner of Ancient Cistern, we have the South Korean Zerg player representing Mystery Gaming down in this series, but it's a best of 5. You know, we got plenty of room to come back. It is RagnaroK. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Terran player representing Onside Gaming. Once again, setting up for the 2-Rax opener, it is Maru. Here we go. RagnaroK once again going for an extractor trick. This time, oh my god, RagnaroK going for a gas first. Alright, okay. RagnaroK, you have my attention. Meanwhile, shout out to some of the lovely people in the chat as well. I say Emperor Frugal came first. Bobby, oh, beautiful, beautiful. But yeah, really interesting here. So I'm pretty sure this is for a Bane Bust counterattack. Obviously, with a gas first opener, we do have a prioritization of upgrades. Link speed is going to be faster. Baneliness is going to be faster. Potentially, Roach is going to be faster as well. I'm not too convinced by a Roach opener against a 2-Rax. We have seen Roach openers fall on their face, and Roach rushes fall on their face, so I'm not too convinced, but we'll see what RagnaroK has in store for us, and if he does end up skipping Link speed. Meanwhile, back at home, it's just going to be a 2-Rax opener from Maru on the low ground. We have Reapers already on the way. There we go. Link speed is in production. And we are not fully pulling out of gas. We are keeping 2 in gas. And okay, never mind. I'm going to be pulling out a little bit here. Because we are continuing to be mining gas, I do believe that once RagnaroK deflects the initial Reapers, he will have the opportunity to go into Banelings if need be. And Bane busting a 2-Raxing player can work really well. Or it could fall on its face. One or the other. Do have a bunker here at the third. The pool first has been scouted and confirmed, and Maru is going to be rotating on over. RagnaroK does see the bunker building across the map. Lings do make it out as well, but there is a Reaper at home. These Lings should be hunted down. This is also why it's really difficult to take a third base against a 2-Rax opener, because the Reapers, there are so many of them and they're applying so much pressure to your third. Your Queens can't really engage. but RagnaroK will soon have Link Speed, and there's that Baneling Nest that we were talking about. RagnaroK, he pulls back into gas, Baneling Nest is on the way, he's going for a Bane Bust. And RagnaroK has found a lot of success with Bane Busts against these kind of builds. Link Speed has kicked in. Oh god, we're gonna try and bust down this bunker. But alas, a lot of Lings are already gonna be going down. Good control here out of RagnaroK. He's gonna be able to focus down and surround one of those Reapers. Looking for the others as well. Oof. But Maru, he's trading so damn well. One Reaper remains, and the Baneling Nest is done, but we don't have a lot of Lings to work with right now. Obviously, we're committing. Like, we're not droning from here. Not anymore. We have to bust this down. Maru in the main base, he went for a 3cc follow-up into a 1-1, into a factory and a starport, which means Maru doesn't have a lot to defend. He has no bunker. He doesn't know what's happening. A very late reaction here out of Maru. He may just die here and now. The depot gets knocked down. Maru, he pulls back into the main base. He's going to try to wall off, but alas, it is too late. GG gets called. And RagnaroK ties up the series 1-1. GG. And again, we have seen RagnaroK take down players like Bjorn and take down players like Cure, specifically when they go 2-Rex, when RagnaroK goes for a gas first. The reason for this, and the reason why Bane busting a Terran player that goes for a 2-Rex opener is really effective, is because of your delayed Hellions, you have delayed tanks, you have delayed Banshees, and you even have delayed Marines because of the initial Reaper commitments, right? Reapers into those add-ons. So Bane busts are... the Terran player is very vulnerable to a Bane Bust, especially if it goes unscouted. That's the big flaw here with what Maru was doing, is that he was really fixated on denying the third base. And if you remember, he did scout that it was a delayed hatchery at the natural, but he didn't scout the main. He didn't recheck the main base, so we didn't see the Baneling Nest. If he had, we would have seen a secondary wall behind the first one, with bunkers, with boys being pulled to repair as well, and we may have seen a very different game. Regardless, we have a series. We have a back and forth. Let's go. Let us go. There we go. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Neo Humanity, we have the South Korean Zerg player representing Mystery Gaming. Once again, going for a 15 hatch. It is RagnaroK. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Neo Humanity, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player representing Onside Gaming. It is Maru. Arguably the best Terran player in the world. Boy, one of the favorites of this entire tournament as a result. Once again, going to be going for a 2-Rex opener on the low ground. Meanwhile, RagnaroK is going for, I imagine, a 15-15. Yep, there we go. It's going to be a 15 hatch into a 15 spawning pool. Now, I'm really curious to see when RagnaroK takes his gases, because specifically on Neo Humanity, it has been very trendy to go gasless. Very trendy to go for a much faster third base, to go for a higher queen count, and to, yeah, just have a greedier opener all around, in general, I should say. In saying that, as much as I would love RagnaroK to go gasless, we have been casting a lot of RagnaroK recently, and he's been going for this delayed gas opener on Neo Humanity instead. Yeah, it's really interesting. He's the only player that I've seen do it, where around here, at the 18 out of 16 drone mark, we should be seeing a gas geyser taken. It's very delayed. I don't know if I like it more than a gasless opener with a faster third, and there's the gas being taken now by RagnaroK. So yeah, specifically this is like the RagnaroK opener on Neo Humanity. It's really interesting. He does get faster queens, just because of the spawning pool, and he's going to try to defend with queens, but he's not neglecting his gas entirely, just like delayed link speed and all that stuff. It's interesting. I don't know how efficient it is. I'll be honest, and I don't know how necessary it is to get link speed. It's possible that maybe he doesn't feel confident in expanding and actually getting his third. I'm curious. I would love to like probe RagnaroK's mind about it and try to get a read on why he does this build specifically, or this opener specifically. He does a lot on Near Humanity. And it's only him. Only him. As Maru is checking the triangular third, the center base, and the linear third base as well. Maru is just looking for another hatchery. And he is now content knowing that there is no third hatch, and now he needs to scout. He needs to figure out how many gases have you taken. Are you going 2-base layer again, which is what RagnaroK did on Babylon. Behind this, it's a 2 racks into a 3cc, so very economic out of Maru. Very economic opener into 3cc 211. There is the factory, there is the starport. Meanwhile, now we see why we went for a faster gas geyser. We are skipping link speed. We're going into very fast lair, but this time we're going for a roach warren hidden behind the natural base. So we're going for early roaches, early roach speed actually. So really interesting. So this is a really early lair timing. Because of that, I don't think this is for safety. I do believe that RagnaroK intends to hit a very fast timing with roach speed specifically. We'll see. As Reapers do dip into the main. Oh, they take down the lanes. They take down a drone as well. Oh, they almost get a second drone. They do get a second drone. Not ideal. Gases have been scouted. Lair has been scouted. Now again, this could be 2-base muta for all Maru knows, which has been already done once in this series. But on Near Humanity, I think even Maru knows that RagnaroK isn't that crazy. This is not the best map for mutas whatsoever. Meanwhile, Banshees have arrived. They have hit the field, and Maru, he rolls the dice well. What I mean by that is Banshees are going to be amazing against a roach rush like this. And here we go, the roaches are banking up back at home. There is roach speed on the way. Gases have been prioritized. Third base is in production, and RagnaroK, I do believe he intends to make nothing but roaches and focus on a push. We'll see if he decides to drone. We'll see if droning is soon to be upon us, as RagnaroK is working on that creep highway. Banshee is moving in. No spore. There is no spore. Drones are going down one after the other. RagnaroK, if he wasn't all in before, he is all in now as he is sending everything across the map. He has to do some critical damage. 5 drones go down. What's important though, Maru, he did not scout the natural. He did not see the roach warren. So he's really playing off of assumptions right now. Here we go. RagnaroK moving out. Cutting workers at 40. Only using his third base for larva. And can he bust into the natural? There's already a tank in position. Production is going to be disrupted. That tank getting in a lot of shots off. Combat shields is going to be denied. But Maru already has a stim. Third base is going to be delayed as well. Behind this, RagnaroK is droning. It looks like he is going to be content here, or I say content. He recognizes that he cannot break the natural, so he's going to try to transition and macro out of this. Which again, does make sense. Like, the entryway here into the natural is so narrow. It's so difficult to really bust through and break into the natural base. And RagnaroK is able to, force some more disruption to the production, get a denial on some of these depots, delay combat shields, and just drone. Drone as heavily as he can. So RagnaroK, he's in a decent position. He took a rough blow to the Banshee earlier, but thankfully only one Banshee, not two. There we go, RagnaroK is transitioning into some Lings, into some Banelings, into Infestors as well. Oh, meanwhile, quadruple drop, a Doom drop in towards, that would be fourth. Ravager is here to meet up with it. Biles will miss. We do have an army waiting in the main. RagnaroK was ready for this. Oh my god. So bold, man. So bold. Link speed is in production. For the time being, we do have 1-1 on the way, but that's because RagnaroK's main army is is comprised of Roach Ravager. I'm pretty sure after this we're going to work on +2 carapace and +1 melee, but we'll see. Oh! Ooh, as Maru is getting a lot of roaches here, he stims on forward. Do need some reinforcements. Slow links do rock up. That's all we have to work with. And behind this drop play, Maru is just getting fully saturated here on 3 bases. The tank count getting very high as well, which should be a concerning thing for RagnaroK. Even though RagnaroK has been able to join up to a decent position, like he's got a really respectable worker count at this point, his opponent's army is looking pretty hefty. Yeah, now we're moving out. Now Maru's push has been delayed a couple of minutes. This usually hits at 7 minutes. Now we're 2 minutes later just because of the late third. 4th base is on location, so Maru is not all in by any means, but this is still going to be a very committed push. 1-1 is done. Vipers are on the way. Vipers are going to be crucial here in the defense. Can they come out in time? Will they arrive? Oh, was that a kill? Yeah, that was a cancel on that hatchery. Big stim on the bio army. I'm going to be rotating around, looking for a better moment here to engage. Towers are knocked down to just cut off any kind of flanking attack path. Here we go. Maru slowly just engaging with this army. Meanwhile, the Vipers are coming in from behind. They do have energy for Blinding Clouds, and they're going for it. Good Blinding Clouds here on the tanks. Lingbane is rolling on in, and is there enough Terran? Oh, it looks like there is. There's barely enough here as Marauders coming to reinforce. The Lingbane gets annihilated. Even with the Blinding Clouds, it was not enough. The tanks stand strong, and Maru can push forward. He can break the army and break the hatchery as well. The map is so small, so condensed that you lose one important fight, and that may just be it. That may just be game. We have more Banelings rolling in, but the tanks have repositioned. Banelings will be targeted. The hatchery falls, and Maru is snowballing out of control. He's going to be rotating around. Again, there's a snowballing main. Does go for a scan. Gets eyes on the would-be 4th. At the time, what's going to be the 5th? Yeah, Maru, he's just steaming on forward, runs past the Biles. Do have some passive bombs, but GG gets called, and Maru will take a lead in this series 2-1. GG. Here we go. Again, it was a rough start for RagnaroK. He invested so much into that Roach Ravager timing, and even though he delayed the 3rd, he wanted to do more than that. Initially, he wanted to do more than just delay the 3rd base. He would have hoped to have killed his opponent, but no, he had to transition out of that. And Maru, even though he was slowed down, like God, that attack, that timing from Maru with his upgrades with his tanks was insane. RagnaroK could not stop it. And now we're getting to game 4. Maru is 1 game away from taking the series. RagnaroK needs to bring it back here and now. Catching up in the chat. Is that a lamb? Beautiful. Beautiful. But yeah, we have some, obviously we have some RagnaroK fans in the chat. I'm sure we have some Mario fans as well. I didn't check the predictions. I didn't check the oh my god. Makes sense, makes sense. 97% in favor of Maru. I mean, he is arguably the favorite player to take the entire tournament. Can anyone stop this man? I can name a couple. I can name a couple of people that can stand in Maru's way. Most of them are Terrans. We have seen him fall in the TvTs to some of these other big Korean Terrans, but we'll see if a Zerg or Protoss can stop him, as here we go. We are getting into our next game. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Royal Blood, we have the South Korean Zerg player representing Mystery Gaming down in the series, but not out. Looking to tie it up, going for the 15 hatch once again. It is RagnaroK. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the best Terran in the world. Representing onside, it is Maru. Uno más. Maru needs one more game to take the entire series, and is once again going for that 2 racks opener. Now, okay. So this time we're getting some variation here. Was a 15 pool, not a 15 hatch. It was a pool first here from RagnaroK, not a hatchery. It's actually going to be a pool gas hatch opener. Interesting. So with this, he's going to have faster queens. He's going to have some earlier lings. His ling speed isn't going to be as fast as it otherwise would with a gas first. So really interesting ordering here from his buildings from RagnaroK. I'm curious. Quite curious indeed. I think RagnaroK was hoping and gambling a little bit that it wasn't going to be a 2 racks opener. Now he sees, and now he confirms with this overlord that it is a 2 racks. Yeah, Ling's are going to stay at home. They can't do anything across the map because this is a full wall off. We can't delay the CC. First queen is already coming out. Again, we do get really early queen production, and bold move here, RagnaroK is going for his 3rd. Okay, so a very fast 3rd base here from RagnaroK. He is, for the most part, prioritizing his gases. Ling speed is going to be on the way momentarily. Reaver Scout does confirm the pull first. And there is that Ling speed. It's also possible that RagnaroK, he wants to fake out a gas first opener to try to get into the mind of Maru. That's like, mind games is really like the only thing I can think of right now, because this does feel like inefficient. Up! As the Lings are waiting for the Reaper, is going to be denying the Scout. Behind this, we're expanding, and we're working on our 3rd CC. So Maru, he really hasn't been changing anything. So far, every game of this series, Maru has been doing the same thing. He's been going for the 2 racks opener into a 3rd CC. One drone does get targeted down. Can he get another? Oh, really does not. Every game, economic opener. Or economic follow-up, I should say. Maru is going to be backing up. Again, a big reason for this is because he knows that the hatchery was delayed, which means he knows that Ling speed should be coming out faster, and he's going to respect that. Doesn't want to get surrounded, does not want to lose his Reapers needlessly. So he will back off and go back home. Behind this, Stim is on the way. I'm really curious to see if Maru does go for something like, I was going to say something like a Tech Lab first here on this starport for Banshees, but no, he's going to be going for a Liberator first instead. Okay, interesting. Meanwhile, RagnaroK, he does pull back into gas, and after getting link speed from map control, he's going for some roaches. Now, this isn't going to be like Neo Humanity, where he like raced into like this big like roach speed timing and tried to kill his opponent. This time, no lair. This time we're just getting roaches at a more reasonable time, and RagnaroK is droning. He's focusing on droning, so this is more of a safety roach war. less so an aggressive one. He's taking more gases. Yeah, joining up even further. If you remember when he did go for the all-in on Neo Humanity, it was off of, I want to say, 45 workers. So we can see that RagnaroK is clearly just joining up more. We have now a lair on the way at a reasonable timing. This is a 5-minute lair. And from here, we're getting into our game. Maru justifying for map control, cleaning up a lot of creep. Likewise, both players are working on their upgrades. We have eVays finishing up, Evo chambers. Liberator does get one drone before being shooed away. Rough inject there. The Queen may have been able to barely kill that Liberator, but it will escape. And here comes the double drop. Actually unscouted here. Lings are out of position. Queens are out of position. Marines do dive on in. They stim. They want the Queen. They get a roach. Not too bad. I'm sure Maru is happy with that. He gets a roach and 2 drones across the map. Ooh, even getting a tumor as well. We'll be applying pressure to the 4th base. RagnaroK a little bit slow to react. Roaches have arrived, but Maru, he doesn't care. He's going for the hatchery. And he gets it. He does get the base. Oh, that is 300 minerals down the drain. RagnaroK was really not expecting Maru to just commit to it, but he smelled weakness. Hellions cleaning up creep here between the bases. We do, of course, have 1-1 on the way alongside Roach Speed. RagnaroK is soon going to have an easier time keeping up. And Maru, he just dives on the army. 1, 2, 3, 4 roaches go down. Very efficient trade here out of Maru. Back at home, his third base is fully operational. He's getting into his additional raxes here. It's going to be a 5 rack setup on 3 bases. He's not going all in. He does have a 4th CC on the way, and he's taking his additional gases as well. So this is going to facilitate for a 2nd factory producing. Going to facilitate for eventually a ghost transition to 2. Really solid setup here from Maru. And he's just done so much for himself. He hasn't just been trading efficiently against the army, but he even killed the 4th base earlier. RagnaroK stuck on a 3-base economy. Stuck on 1-1. And we're just going for it. We're going for a big 3-base timing here from RagnaroK. He is not droning up more than 66, which is 3-base saturation. He also didn't start 2-2, so this is pretty all in. RagnaroK, he's trying to break Maru here and now with Roach Ravager. SimCity is looking pretty damn good. Wilds will connect, they take down 2 of the tanks. Is that going to be enough? Another tank is going to fall. Oh, the Roach Ravager trying to bust through this wall, but alas, having a hard time. Finally, they take down the racks. The boys have to be pulled. Once again, the tank's getting up a lot of volleys. It looks like, so far, RagnaroK, he's trading well enough. He still needs more damage. Maru, he can afford to lose some SCVs. He can afford to lose some workers. He's up in the worker count right now. There we go. Wild's going to take down another one of those tanks. SCVs are falling left and right. Maru, he's up against the wall, but the Marines, they stim on forward once again, taking down a big chunk of those roaches. RagnaroK is going to back off. He's going to rotate around. He still isn't droning, by the way. RagnaroK, he is not looking for a longer game. He still hasn't started 2-2. He wants to end it all here. On Royal Blood. Ugh, not the best files. Doesn't get the tank. Doesn't get the factory either. RagnaroK is moving over towards the right-hand side instead. He's running into the Marine army. This is not a good trade for RagnaroK. He loses a lot of roaches. The Marines, they sim on forward. They get on top of the Ravagers, and it looks like RagnaroK is being outscaled. The +2 kicked in just in time for that attack. At the same time, we have a Liberator harassing across the map, getting some of these workers. RagnaroK is droning. RagnaroK is backing up. He recognizes that he cannot end the game, but I feel like he realized this a little bit too late, and as a result, these upgrades are late. Infestation Pit, very delayed. Bailey Nest, heavily delayed as well. We never intended to tech up. We never intended to drone this forth. So Maru is in a commanding position. He's up in workers, he's up in bases, or even in bases, which is always a better thing for the Terran. Just waiting for him to build up, to muster up an army before moving out. Scans confirm the lack of hive. And Maru, he just has no chill. He just goes straight for the main. Straight for the jugular. As he gets on top of the roaches, takes down the reinforcing lings. Once again, Maru may not get any workers there, but he traded really efficiently. As he picks up, gets out of there, and the main army is moving out across the map. My god, that's a lot of tanks. 10 tanks. Oh my god. 10 tanks here for Maru. Leapfrogging forward. Wedging himself in between the bases. Oh my god. The tank volleys are insane. RagnaroK, he's gonna try to collapse on this army, but it's not gonna work. Not like this. Not without Vipers, not without a higher army supply, or even a better engagement, a better surround. RagnaroK does take down one of those tanks, but Maru, he's just rallying everything across the map. Another tank will fall, but Maru, he's just slowly leapfrogging forward. The miles! Not too bad, but yeah, the Marine Marauder, even on their own at this point, there's too much. We don't even need the tanks. GG gets called, and Maru will take the series 3-1, eliminating RagnaroK. GG. GG, well played. Maru will take his first series here tonight. The first series of the KSL Summer Slam. Congratulations. Congratulations. My condolences to RagnaroK. He did put up a good fight, was able to take a game, but could not take the series, so his tournament run will end here at the hands of Maru. And to be fair, if you're going to go down to anyone, may as well be Maru. May as well. As we are going to be switching our scenes over, and we can have a look at the brackets. Un momento. Bam, there we go. So exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the Liquipedia page yourself. You can see the page is currently being updated, but you can have a look at all the matches we have for you tonight. We started the night off with Maru versus RagnaroK. Cure versus Creator is happening at the same time, and all we can see, Cure is currently ahead versus Creator, leading that series 2-1, one game away from advancing on to the next round. Meanwhile, Maru did just take down RagnaroK and is moving on to face Classic in the quarterfinals. As we scroll down a little bit further, we do have our next... Scroll down. As we look at the rest of the round of 12, the next matchups are going to be Gumiho versus Estrella and Bjorn versus Scarlet. So we're going to be finishing up the round of 12 first before we move on to the quarterfinals. And that means that, I mean, we could jump in mid-series into Cure versus Creator. It's definitely something we could do. But our next series should be a TvZ between Bjorn and Scarlet. Oh, let's go. Let's go. So yeah, a lot of high quality StarCraft tonight. Also, to bring everyone up to speed, as we do pay out the predictions, to bring everyone up to speed, tonight we're going to be covering the round of 12 and the quarterfinals. Tomorrow is the semis and the grand finals. So we're not finishing everything tonight. We'll be finishing everything tomorrow night. Until then, though, we are going to be going on a short break. We're going to try to figure out if we want to jump in mid-series to Cure versus Creator if they have an ace match, or if we go straight into Beyond versus Scarlets. We'll figure it out as we're trying to line everything up and make sure we don't leave anyone behind. So we'll see you guys momentarily. Enjoy the Brood War OST. Take this moment, stretch your Hydras. Oh my god, what did I just say? Stretch your Roaches. Hydrate your Hydras. Maybe get some snacks, get some food. Posture check in the chat. And we'll see you guys in a couple of minutes. Massage your Marines, Poppy. See you soon.